What's going on, guys? I got some Madden demo here finally. I'm playing as the Bears here on all pro difficulty, as you just saw there, and I'm gonna touch on a few things about this. I wouldn't really call this like a first thoughts video. I'll kind of wait until the full game comes out. But anyways, here the Packers get the ball first, and this is actually the very first time that I played this game on all pro, just because I didn't realize that the default difficulty was set on pro. Like, I had played a few times and I was winning by a lot of points. I was like, man, this game seems a lot easier than like earlier games. But for some reason they put the default difficulty on. Look at that catch right there. That was a nice catch animation. I think that the way that this game looks is so much better than previous Madden games. I've been watching a lot of reviews, and most people seem to like this game and like the new presentation and the way the game looks and stuff. But I did watch a video last night. I'm gonna put a link to his video right here, just because I don't want him to feel like I was bashing his video. I mean, he makes good videos, and it's actually good that he provokes all these thoughts out of me. Like, I mean, that's his goal for making videos, is to try to provoke comments and provoke people's thoughts about it. And even if they don't agree with him, like, I posted like 3 paragraph long comments on this guy's video, but he's Kenny Too Fresh, and I'm gonna put a link to his Madden video in here that I watched and I commented on. But like, he was saying he didn't really like the way the presentation looks in this game and everything, and he's like, why does that matter? I don't care, I just want better gameplay. But and right here you see me swat that ball. Anybody that doesn't know, you can press right bumper to swat at a ball instead of trying to press Y for an interception, and your defender will make a swat at it. And a blown coverage there. Greg Jennings gets past the defense. But anyways, he said like he didn't like the game, or he wants the gameplay improved. But the core Madden fans for the past 2 years have been talking about how they wanted this presentation. Like, since Madden 10, everybody felt like Madden 10 was the year. They were like, oh, the gameplay is greatly improved. We really like what they've done. And then they just wanted it to be a little bit better in Madden 11. And then last year, I feel like a lot of people thought Madden 11 was like the best Madden game in a really long time. Like, they felt like EA Sports was finally going in the right direction and getting their football game like actually worth the money that you're paying for, instead of just a roster update every year. So I feel like that's why they put the emphasis on the way this game looks and feels, and because everybody's been pretty much happy with Madden for the past 2 years. I mean, there's glitches and little things that happen in like every Madden game that you would like. Like, I feel like I haven't had it happen to me in this game yet, but in every Madden game where you dive for like either a first down or the end zone or something, and a defender just barely touches the side of your player and he just fumbles it automatically, like, that glitch has been in Madden for at least like 7 or 8 years, and they have yet to fix it. I can't believe that, because like, in no way, just because you're diving, are you that much more prone to watch this right here. This is a perfect time blitz by me, a user sack, bringing my safety in there. That was nice. So yeah, I really feel like what they did with the presentation is awesome. You don't really get to see much of it in this video because I cut it all out in between plays, but it's really awesome what they've done, and I feel like the commentary on it will make it a little bit better. And I do have to say that the middle of the field seems to be open a lot. Like, you're gonna, like that play right there to my tight end, you're gonna see me get plays like that a lot throughout this game. The middle of the field always seems to be open, so if you just run like those 4 verticals plays, you can always find somebody open. And that was a bad pass. I should have thrown it to the underneath receiver that cut across. Pretty stupid by me to throw into double coverage there. But other than the presentation, I really love the tackling, man. The tackling in this game, like, I don't know, it just feels like I never see the same play twice. Like, when you played Madden 10 and 11, when you would do a hit stick or a tackling animation, it seemed like there was maybe like 6 or 7 different tackling animations that you saw over and over again. Now it's like, depending on which angle you come from, and whether you hit the hit stick or just press the X button, the tackles all look so different. Like, and when the gang tackle, it just feels different. Like, when you're user controlling a player and you're trying to tackle somebody, the game just plays and feels smoother, I feel like, than previous Madden games. Like, if you put in Madden 11 right now and go play it and then play the Madden 12 demo, you can't tell me that there's not a difference in the gameplay, that it doesn't feel different to you. I don't know. And then people talk about this, like the way that this kicking looks right here. You can always press the right trigger and go back and look at, go back to the classic view. But anyways, the tackling I feel like really has changed it, man. Like it just looks better when they tackle, anyways. Uh, Another thing with like, it feels like the blocking has been affected by the tackle. Like what they did with the tackling is like contact in the game isn't made until the two players actually like touch each other. In previous Madden games, you would press the tackle button and there was like a suction. Like when you press the button, the players were technically like inside the program, like in the programming, they were actually already touching each other, and that's why there was like a suction to the player. But now it's not until the two players actually touch each other does the tackle begin. And I think that affects the blocking too, because if you watch like your linemen it doesn't really look the same on the offensive and defensive line, and when you're on the defensive line, it doesn't feel the same when you're trying to shed blocks and get to the quarterback either. So I feel like it's really affected the overall entire game, and we'll just have to see how that goes. And there's another sideline catch right there. In previous Madden games, it seems like on a sideline catch, they never really like knew where the sidelines were. But I've had two instances just in this game right here where you've seen the computer like make a couple nice catches to keep their drive alive. So I don't know, man. I just feel like all these things combined have got me really excited for Madden, and they have supposedly put a lot of work into the franchise and superstar modes. And I'm probably more of a franchise guy than a superstar guy. Apparently, this year in franchise, you're gonna be able to have like a gajillion man roster, and you're going to be able to make cuts after each preseason game. That's actually pretty sweet, because that will entice you to actually play your preseason games and play your rookies and stuff like that. And here's a big crucial there. They got a first down here in the fourth quarter, and I don't know how I missed with Brian Urlacher right there coming into Ryan Grant, but this is where I really explode. You know, like I told you guys, this is my first game on All-Pro, and you're about to see me just take over this fourth quarter here. I think I have a couple of bad passes to start this drive, but then after that, things really start to heat up, and I come back and take this victory. And another thing with the tackling is I feel like there's not as many broken tackles. Like in previous Madden games, if you had certain players like Adrian Peterson or, well, actually, technically, I guess we don't really know how that's going to be with players like that, but so far in this game with like Ryan Grant and Matt Forte, I can't break more than like one or two tackles in a play before you're going to get taken down. Like in older Madden games, you could just shed tackles like left and right on All Pro. Like if you didn't play on All Madden, you could just shed and like juke people out left and right. And you know, like last year in the NFL, how many plays was there that somebody actually shed like more than 3 or 4 tackles? I mean, the Donald Driver play against San Francisco comes to mind. There may have been like maybe 5 or 6 plays where it was just like, oh, how did that guy break so many tackles that play? Like, but in previous Madden games, that would happen to you like 2, 3, 4 times a game, where you would have like a miraculous play. And I feel like they've done a good job improving that. But I will say something I don't feel like has been I don't know. I feel like in this demo, a lot of my defenders have been making have had blown coverages, you know, like I'll be on the defensive line, and then there'll be like a wide receiver just wide open, and I wasn't even blitzing. Like earlier, Greg Jennings got behind my entire defense. As far as I know, in Madden, they took out the feature where you could, like they used to have it where as soon as the ball was snapped, you could either press up or down on the right analog stick, and whichever way you pressed it, it would like tell your defense whether you thought it was a run or a pass play. As far as I know, that's not in there anymore. So maybe what I was thinking is maybe it is in there, and I've been on the defensive line trying to like juke through a lineman, and I'm pressing down maybe as soon as the ball snapped, and maybe it's telling my defense that it's a run play and the defense is moving up. I don't know, but it seems like a lot of time, like this right here is a nice play right here. I mean, you saw me controlling the corner. I had actually tried to hot route that guy, but then I got caught having to control him as the play started, and then was able to bait the quarterback into throwing that for me. And then I user controlled the other guy and grabbed that interception. Now here, I probably should have just ran out the clock and kicked a field goal once I get this pass right here. Like, see what I mean, man? The middle of the field is always open. I feel like that's another flaw in this game, but as long as it works out for me, I'm okay with it. But when I'm on defense playing somebody and the middle of the field is just wide open, it pisses me off. And here I get into the end zone. I probably would have been better suited to just run down the clock and kick the field goal since they're out of timeouts. instead of giving Aaron Rodgers 40 seconds. But anyways, and the zone coverage in this game, I don't know. It feels like, as far as like overall coverage, I don't know how improved it is, but they do take away some of like the curl route. I mean, not the curl routes, like the flat routes when you try to run your running back out into the flats. I think that's really what they focused on, was being able to break the linebackers and stuff out of their routes to be able to pick up those people coming out into the flats. Because when you would play with like even the Vikings, like Adrian Peterson on a flat route, when you can get somebody with that much explosiveness and that much elusiveness out in the open, it's pretty easy to get big plays just out of throwing little dinky passes to your running back. I mean, in previous games, I'm a 49ers fan. I've been using Frank Gore like that forever, just throwing little passes to him, and it just works like a charm. But so far in this demo, it hasn't really worked out like that for me. But again, this is just the demo. We'll see what the full game is like. And I come out here and get the win, 24-14, after a very rough first half. My only touchdown in the first half was off of my defense. And again, I didn't touch on everything, so I didn't want to call this like an overview video. I'll talk more about it when the actual game does come out. And I'll talk to you guys later, and y'all have a good day.